So I actually did go beyond and hit the Altus Plateau. And I've like meandered around that area a little bit. But what's actually gonna happen? Where the fuck? So anyway. Some things happened. And I'm going to be going through them all right now. Whole bunch of stuff. Whole bunch of things happened. Most of which I took the time to like clip and edit. Oh right, I fought a berry watchdog, I guess. But it was a caster. He gave me, what did he give me? Kaiden Sellsword Ashes upon defeat. That happened. I also basically found a boss called Ancestor Spirit, all down in Shofra. It's really weird. It's like a secret boss. You have to like light these lanterns underground in Siofra, and then you unlock like the ability to fight this boss. And this is a really lovely setting for a boss. I really like it. It wasn't too hard. You know, it's big, it's dumb, it's slow, but I don't know, for some reason it proved to be a bit tough. I did beat it on my first try though. Music's really nice as well. But you know what fighting this reminded me of? It reminded me of fighting the bulls. Almost like a little bit of like fighting the bulls in Sekiro. Now I don't know what the lore is behind this this boss. I think that's something I want to find out eventually. I think I was out of sips. Used my last sip of Wondrous Physic. I think at this point I realized that I was like, okay, Jerry, I'm choking. You're choking. Like, there's no reason for me to like choke like this. Like that's it. I'm out of sips. So I stayed back and I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna cast. Something will hit it eventually. And finished it off with that. And received the Ancestral Follower Ashes, who I believe are the annoying bull-headed enemies that you fight underground. Also in Shofar, I found a boss. Called... As you can see, I died once to it already. But this one was called... I don't remember. Dragonskin something. Dragonkin Soldier. It's quite tough. It does a lot of damage for no real reason. It almost one-shot Torrent. He's big, he's scary. And I really wanted my horse back. Ouchie, ouch. Oh, I forgot to mention I got Lutel. I had Lutel with me as well. So some of this stuff is stuff that happened before the last stream of Elden Ring I did. So this was a while ago. But I think last stream I forgot to show what I'd done before. So here's just some missing content, really. And I'm riding around trying to figure out when can I attack? When is it my turn? But eventually I win and I receive what I believe to be, actually I don't remember what it was at all. Oh yeah, Dragon Halberd. A type of weapon that I don't really like and won't be using. This boss isn't really special, just another Erdtree avatar. This one does rot, so it was quite a problem. Oh shite. But I decided to use my Knight and Flame stance. Sword of Knight and Flame weapon is that I kept using the fire attack because it's a tree and it's weak to fire. Immensely weak to fire even. And down it goes. I found a meteoric ore blade, which scales off strength, dex, int, maybe, I think, or arcane. I am not quite sure. It looks really good, but I haven't really used it. Like, I'm kind of married to the Moonveil katana. Ah, yes, decaying this dragon. He's just laying around in Caelid. Now, this took me a bunch of tries. A whole bunch of tries. Mostly because the Scarlet Rot kept killing me. There was a run where I got really close and then I died. Now, it is easy to kill dragons on horseback, but I do prefer sometimes being on foot. So I'm not doing bad here, like I'm getting hits in. Every now and again I may be proc and bleed. But getting away from the Scarlet Rot is difficult. Like I'm using up Preserve and boluses here, just so I don't have to deal with it for the whole fight. And despite the fact that I watched the roll, when dragons do their stomps, I find it way easier to dodge on foot than it is to dodge on horseback. Because the dash on the horse, I believe, does not have any iframes. So he despawned and he got too far out of his bounds and he despawned and respawned again. Ouch. At this point, after the halfway mark, I decided to call him Oleg because I realized that Oleg actually dies pretty fast. To the point where sending him out at the start of the fight, it's not a good idea. Here we go, we've got that bleed proc. That was a lovely dodge. This is like borderline horseless. think I won. Yeah. Got myself a dragon heart, and that is about it. And unlocked some new draconic powers. Don't remember what boss I beat, but I got a kindred of rotten ashes. I got a meteorite staff. Staff embedded with a dark purple glintstone. Said to be the fragment of a meteorite, boasts high sorcery scaling and boosts gravity sorceries as well. However, the staff can't be strengthened in any way. This is another boss fight I encountered that I died to, I think, once or twice. As you can see, my rings are there on the floor. This is Fallen Star Beast. Now, I said the Ancestor Spirit is kind of like the balls from Sekiro. This one is even more so, except it's made of rock. So dealing damage to it was quite difficult. No idea what that boss is doing. Oleg doing his thing, not doing much though. Don't think his attacks do much too. Wait, no, I'm a liar. Does his attacks do a lot? Because I don't think I was the one hitting him. Oh yeah, no, Oleg is doing bits. Ow. The thing is with spirits, I find, is that they don't really take precautions against damage, really. I don't see them you know, I got all of this stuff anyway. I got a Sumber Stone, Miner's Bell Bearing, which is useful. But yeah, no, I don't ever see them like dodge rolling or anything like that. They kind of just like go in. This is a boss I found in the swamp in Caelid called Commander O'Neill. Since Xbox can only take 3 minutes, the last 3 minutes that happened as video, maximum, I don't have the full fight. But I did die, I think, once to this boss prior. He's interesting because he can summon spirit ashes as well, a lot more than you can, and then he can also rally them to fight. So I think he can like increase everyone's strength or attack power. He's the coolest though. Like, as far as like humanoid enemies who are like humanoid bosses who are like your size, kinda generally, he's quite cool. Now, my favorite thing about the fight is the end of it, because when you win, you can see his face. And you can see his face is animated as he's dying. But yeah, you get his standard, and you get an unalloyed gold needle, which is important for a quest that I started with this person called Millicent.
You ask that I stab myself with the needle to quell the scarlet rot.
She's basically dying of scarlet rot.
How? Never mind. I've decided I would rather trust you than simply continue to spoil from within.
So whatever scarlet rot is, it's fucked.
Your eyes for a moment.
I'm told there's no cure. You can only sort of stave it off or just let it kill you?
Well, that was easier than expected. But why do I feel so...
And I'm sorry you can't see her, I'm a dumbass. But she passes out. So I'm like, okay, cool, well, great chat. And I figured maybe the quest will, you know, advance if I just rest somewhere. And she's up and at him. Second I rested at a bonfire. Also, that's what she looks like. She looks really cool. I also wanted to get a look at her arm.
I hoped to see you again. My apologies for when last we met. I fainted before I could even thank you. Everything is as you said. Since inserting the needle, the scarlet rot has ceased to writhe. Even the nightmares have abated. And now, though I can scarcely believe it myself, I can move as I please. Not that I could ever truly repay you, but I would like you to have this, by way of thanks. A token though it is.
Prosthesis wearer heirloom. I don't remember what that does. If I remember to check it out when we go back to the game, then... Oh, maybe I check it out now. Raises dexterity by some points.
I'm considering leaving. On a journey, with the needle buried in my flesh. I've started to recall, but dimly, my destiny.
Okay, I didn't listen to that line properly.
My name is Millicent.
I thought she just simply pricked herself with the needle. Turns out she put it all the way in. It's buried in her flesh, quite literally. It's the only thing stopping the rot.
I'm considered the needle my destiny.
So she says that. So I did Celia, the Town of Sorcery. And the boss at the end are these two. Nox Swordstress and Nox Priest. So I called in on my boy Oleg, sent him to work. Now the interesting part about this fight is that you can actually ride Torrent, and even though Torrent died, they were quite weak. Like, Oleg was doing it. Didn't need me. But, yeah. A non-issue. And I got a Nox Flowing Sword, which I believe... I don't remember what that is, actually. Oh, I believe I was told to come down here by a colleague. Because apparently there's like a specific blood stain that I have to look at. That is like not an online blood stain. It's like a specific blood stain you have to look at. I think I eventually find it, but it wasn't that one. I think it was this one. So that's Rogier. Something... He got pulled up. Something happened to him. And apparently that's the one I have to look at. Which is dumb because this is in a very hidden part of Godric's castle. Or Stormvale Castle. So Rogier is fucked. He's got thorns coming out of his legs. Don't know really what happened to him. But once you beat Godric, he actually gives you his rapier at +8. I got given a weathered dagger by Fear, which I then gave to Rogier, I think. No, I gave it to D. I gave it to D, the guy in the golden armor. And then at some point, Fia wasn't in her room. So I've trimmed this clip for ease. But I went into Fia's room and she wasn't in there. So I was like, okay, cool. And then I noticed a new room had been opened. And I'm like, oh, what's in here? And I see Fia, and I don't immediately recognize who that is on the floor. And then I was like, wait, that's D.
It is returned to its rightful place.
I'm like, wait, what? Fia?
Hallobrand of the exalted noble. And now, I must bid you goodbye as well. Though I ask you deliver this message to the Round Table Hold. I am Fia. Deathbed companion. Hark Round Table. Disturb not the death of Godwyn, the exalted. We who humbly live in death, live in waiting. To one day, welcome our Lord. What right does anyone have to object? Our Lord will rise. The Lord of the many and the meek.
And she just pieces out. She just pieces out. And so he's dead. You get his bell bearing and his armor set. And I'm like, wait, did I just fuck that up? Like, he's just straight up dead. I found this. I was milling about in Liania, and I found a summon sign to go help Yura. So Yura's like over here fighting some guy. And I'm like, oh no. Should probably go help my buddy. I'd picked up a twin blade as well. From Limgrave. It's not super strong. It's weaker than any of my other weapons, but I don't know. I kind of wanted to be cool and have fun with a different kind of weapon. And twin blades look really cool. And yeah, so we rinsed him, two against one. Right? And then when you leave, you're spawned back here. But Yura's waiting for you.
Oh, it's you.
And he's not okay.
That bloody finger was a thorn in my side. And now I'm finally rid of him. Here's a token of thanks. Please, take it. I may not have much time. I'm dying to see you. Eleonora. Violet bloody finger.
I used that by accident.
I've been tracking Eleonora for quite some time. She is
So he's looking for someone called Eleonora.
She's felled many an old hand already, but in spite of her cessblood zealotry, Eleonora is a proud knight. If she comes for you, do not think twice. You must flee. There is no shame in self-preservation. Be on your way. Perhaps we will meet again, if fate permits. Be on your way. Perhaps we will meet.
And so that's that. In one particular cave that's full of poison, I find a clean rot knight. Done this before. I fought two before, so this was not an issue. Like, quite frankly, a non-issue. Well, I mean, you know, mostly a non-issue. hit him with the crystal darts. And they get a winged sword insignia, which is a talisman that basically lets you do more damage with each successful attack. As I was milling about Liurnia, I found Hayata, I think her name is meant to be. Again. So her deal is that she keeps moving around in Liurnia. This happened when a dog showed up and he bit her head, and I was worried for the quest. But it seems like the quest was fine. She was fine.
I'm on a pilgrim when I eat one of those grapes. You're not like the others who give me grapes, are you? They rest their trembling hands upon me, howling wordlessly. They gently stroke my eyes, their frail fingers, emaciated. Yet still, they give me the grapes. But you seem somehow firmer. You are most kind indeed. May the blessing of the fingers be upon you. You are most kind. May the blessing of the...
So that's that. I find her again somewhere else.
Hello? Is someone there? Would you donate any Shabriri grapes in your... I'm on a pilgrimage, and when I eat one of those grapes... Oh, many thanks to you. Now I can feel the distant light. That aside, I wonder what Shabriri grapes really are. Delectably tender and sweet, yet searing.
And if you've read the description for Shabriri grapes, they're human eyes.
No.
But she's been eating them.
Not all of those people. Their own. So those noises I heard were... Sorry. I'm all right now.
And it seems like she's about to vomit.
I apologize. You only did as I asked. I'll be fine. Think no more of it. I apologize. You only did as I asked.
And so I'm like, okay, cool. So is she gonna move again, or what's happened? Have I fucked it? And since she was not right near a bonfire, yeah, and also when you walk away, you hear her vomit. You can hear her retching when you walk away.
I apologize. I'll be fine.
But she doesn't have anything more to say, so I was like, okay, let me reset the world state. See what happens.
Is that you over there? I've gleaned something very important indeed, thanks to you. The reason why it was eyes I had to eat, the distant light, is far and frail. So faint it can't be seen by the naked eye. But with everyone's eyes together, it appears. Finally, it all makes sense, I'm certain now. I will be a finger maiden.
So we're building up a finger maiden right now. This is should be a short one. But I found this guy hanging around. I don't know where I was. Probably Liurnia. I don't know. But I beat him, I guess. Because of course I did. I don't know what I thought I was doing. God counted me. And I was like, oh, did you just send lightning my way? And I decided to finish him off with the crystal dart. And I get a dragon cult prayer book, which basically allows me to use lightning, which I always wanted to do. However, I am going to be respecing my character because I've kind of figured out what kind of build I want, and it won't be including faith.
What are you doing here?
Also, I found who I believe is the new NPC they added to the game. I chanced upon Jarberg.
Are you going to be the new potentate?
And he has a lot of things to say.
Truly. That's That's wonderful news. It's not easy being potentate, though. I know. Show me your hands. It's just a little test, cuz. To see if you've got the right stuff. Your skin isn't so smooth, is it? You need slick, slidey hands to be potentate, you know? I'm sorry, cuz. But I don't think you've got what it takes. What a shame. Don't look so glum, cuz. We can still chat. Potentate or not, come back and visit me. When you can.
And so it's like, is the come back and visit me when you can a reset the world stake for me
Come back
and
visit
chat
me.
when you can.
When you can.
But he says a whole lot of different stuff. Meanwhile, over with Rogier, Rogier dies just by himself eventually. And he drops his bell bearing and his set. He also drops a letter, which basically details Dee's twin brother and how and where he is. I got a crystal staff from somewhere. I believe I got it from a Crystallian boss. I don't know. But a staff fashioned from pure crystal, a deed impossible for a human, enhances Crystallian sorceries. The Crystallian faint cogitation is known as the wisdom of stone. The staff can only be wielded by those of intellect high enough to grasp such wisdom. Now this is, I don't know where this was actually. Oh, but I got like nuked by someone. Either way, I come in and it's Crystallian Spear and Crystallian Staff. Now these guys are highly resistant to attacks that aren't strike type. So I realized this. And I'm by myself, and it's the first time I've faced the spear one, I think. And the spear guy is annoying. Now I think I tried once already in this boss, I died. Yeah, they're my runes. There are my runes. So yeah, I tried once at this boss and died. Just that jab, 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 jab. Just in your Facebook post, I hope you're feeling okay. If you need to talk about anything, DM me. I appreciate it. Facebook post. I didn't make it. Oh, you mean my Instagram post that automatically posts to Facebook? I need to turn that off. But I appreciate it, thank you. I'll manage, I think. What happened to the video? Did the video end? Oh, I guess the video ended. I found Sword of Saint Trina, which I've heard is actually pretty good. And I might be testing it out today. Found an Everjail in Kaled. I tried once before, as you can see. My souls are there. And the boss is Battle Mage Hughes, who's just Warrior Mage. He has big club. But you're not gonna see him do anything because he kicked my ass the first time. He kicked my ass the first time. And I was like, nah, fuck that. let me get my run back. And beat him in less than 30 seconds. Oh, I think this is just a scene of me going into Altus Plateau. Using the two sides of the medallion. Altus Plateau.
Waiting
So I literally do not remember who she was. I remember now.
champions.
This is Rhea or Raya.
To the volcano manor.
I helped her retrieve something that someone stole off her back in Liurnia. And she's like, oh yeah, invitation for you for Volcano Manor.
Pray that you follow the same path as Lady Tanith.
So I'm like, okay, cool, I'll take your hand for now. And she straight up teleports me to Volcano Manor. I look in front of me and I see someone sitting down, some big guy with a sword. I'm like, that is straight off one of the art pieces during the loading screens. Also, I know Volcano Manor is like a big legacy dungeon. So I'm like, cool. I hear you. And that grace that you might have saw that was in that room, I took it and when I left. I've got the grace. Can always teleport that back there when we're ready for it. But we're not doing that now. I found a teleporter. Took me to the north end of Altus Plateau. And I found this guy. Apparently he's called Gold Mask. Doesn't talk to me though. Like at all. Just doesn't talk to me. So I left that alone. But I wanted to record the encounter. Exploring a bunch of east... Oh yeah, here we go. I was exploring the northern area and there was a lot of windmill pastures around. And I came across these enemies. And they're just like dancing around. So I was like, okay. And what I thought was just like a burning bodies just on the floor turned out to be these guys. So they explode and they aggro one of the enemies. And they all aggro. They all want it. And it's just chaos. And they're quite dangerous. These ladies are quite dangerous. But yeah, that's basically the encounter. And I'm going up this hill. And Godskin Apostle. I'm like, wait, who? And it's just some guy. And he's using Black Flame. So I was like, yeah? And he dodged it. And I was like, well, let me try again. So I was like, are we just going to throw fireballs at each other? And he's like, no, we're not going to throw fireballs at each other. At least not all five. I'm going to show you how to, the way of the blade. And he has an anti-sit move. His Black Flame is an anti-sit move. If you go away from him, the second you press that heal button, he casts the flame. Also, the music is really good. And yeah, he got me good. He got me good. I did eventually beat him. So you're about to see my run. Ouchie ouch. Like he's just ruining Oleg's day, basically. And then he can stretch his body, which is really weird. Like he becomes Mr. Fantastic and it's kind of freaky. But honestly, like, For a boss who's just like hanging around in the open world, it was a really good boss fight. Kills Oleg. And the music was really, I keep saying it, the music was fantastic. Finish it. There we go. And for our troubles, we get 14,000 souls. Godskin Peeler, which is a twin blade, and Scoring Black Flame, which I haven't actually looked at yet. So the Godskin Peeler is a twin blade. Unique twin blade wielded by Godskin apostles, characterized by its disturbing design. One end features a sickle for slicing attacks, while the other boasts a winding spike for boring into the flesh. Its skill is Black Flame Tornado, which is that attack that the boss was using towards the end. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll just pump some Somber Stones. This weapon does not require Somber Stones. It requires normal Smithing Stones, which in some ways is a bit annoying, but it is what it is, I guess. My cleric guy, my faith teacher, saying that he's gonna fuck off to go meet Goldmask.
Now's the moment. And applaud.
I don't know what else I saved this clip for though. I don't think that was the reason why. Oh yeah, the reason why is because I found another room open.
Have you ever felt the curse?
And I believe this is the Dung
Your
Eater.
whole being, the pox upon life itself, feared and despised.
It's weird because he's red, but he's not an invader. Or is he?
Apparently not. You are but a lamb, a stranger to defilement, ignorant of your own ignorance. You no longer interest me. I've been long without peace. Don't spoil my quietude.
And he does not like it when I talk to
Be
him.
thankful of the whole serenity. It is all that keeps your death and defilement at bay. I asked you, be thankful of the.
So, you know, good chat. Roderica had something new to
Warn
say.
you about something. A little while ago, someone started lurking in the wing on the opposite side of the round table, and I can hear from all
And I believe
the way
she's
over there,
talking about the Dung Eater.
howling and wailing of spirits in fear of a curse. I can even hear the repulsive, twisted malice in itself. A plethora of spirits in an unceasing cacophony. I can't even imagine. How much suffering inflicted to who knows how many souls. Not even the grafting caused anything like this to happen. You should keep your distance. I know you're strong, but please.
And that was basically all she had to say. This is a photo of an icon shield I found. Great shield painted with a divine scene. The recipients. I don't know what that word is. The recipients, I don't know, of a blessed tear from the Erd Tree, an item that looks back fondly on the age of the plenty. The divine scene acts in and of itself as a sacred invocation, gradually restoring the carrier's HP. I found a cave with 2 crystallions, one with a spear again, and one with a ring blade. This shit was annoying. I also realized, so what I did there was quite stupid, right? Because I was like, I'm not doing any damage, and the reason is because I need a strike weapon, but I don't have one equipped because I wasn't expecting a boss fight with these guys. So I need to just like find a safe spot and quickly menu my flail, no, not my flail, my morning star in. Took some hits, but I didn't die, so that's good. Oleg is not having a time. It's not having a good time. Like I'm watching his boys get broken, and Oleg is done. Luckily, the ring blade guy is like super not an issue for the most part. Trying to do a charge attack, but I forget the range of my weapon. Exploded. Done. Now, knowing that the ring blade is not an issue, I'm just gonna kind of rinse this shit. Ouch. Try again. And I got Somber Stone Miner's Bell Bearing 2, which I didn't know, I forgot I got, actually. I found Wrath of Gold from somewhere. A superior Erdtree worship incantation produces a golden shockwave that knocks back nearby foes. I believe this is the skill that the Erdtree avatars use. Running around at night too. And I actually don't notice the boss. You would have seen it, but I didn't notice it. So I'm like, wait, what am I running away from? Like, where's the boss fight? And I see all that shit coming at me, but I'm like, oh, I just assume that's just a normal enemy. And I'm like, oh, he's big boy. He's not really a massive threat though. Like we kind of like run his shit through, like. I got grabbed, and that was not great. That was not fun at all. I didn't like any part of that. That was not great. Ugh. Ouchie, ouch. And problem solved. And he drops Crimson Spill Crystal Tear and a Speckled Hard Tear. I was in a boss fight with this guy, Sanguine Noble. I don't recall him being much of an issue. Like, yes, I call Oleg in because why not? But also, I don't recall him being much of an issue. Done. Done. Simple as. But what's behind the door is the Bloody Hellas, which I believe is a great thrusting, piercing sword. I found a perfumer's talisman, a talisman depicting a set of perfume bottles. There are gardens known only to the perfumers, whether hidden on the fringes of the highlands or obscured by shadows inside caves. The flowers blossom in secret, waiting to impart their scent. I'm like, oh, hello, Necromancer Garrus. Like, not an issue. Death. And that thing dies as well, I think. Or not. Get a big old club weapon called Family Head. I got a golden great arrow. Found raptor talons. Found raptor's black feathers. Yeah. So I did the boss fight. And then there was another one in the same place. Black Knight Assassin. And here's the problem. I saw the footsteps in the water and I was like, oh, you're invisible. Like, you can just about see the footsteps in the water as you walk in. So I'm like, no. The annoying thing is he is actually pretty difficult to hit. And if you're not in the water, he's difficult to track. So I remember when I was in Celia, there was a lot of enemies in Celia that were invisible until you got close to them. But Oleg, and I assume any spirit, can see invisible enemies. So they will go towards the invisible enemies and fight them, which gives me an idea of where they are, except I did get ambushed. Like, where is he, boy? Where is he? And then you kind of just go over there. Completely missed. And got me again. It's quite rude. But honestly, it doesn't take too much effort, really. He's not a hard boss. Especially when you put in a summon. And I wanted to be really cool and be like, okay, I know where you are. I know where you are. There you are. And I missed like an idiot. But I think Oleg ends up getting him in the end anyway. So I get a concealing veil. Here I encounter Dragon. Called Ancient Dragon Lanso. Now the interesting thing about the dragon, I won't waste that time, is that when you do enough damage, you die. But also, when you do enough damage, when you do enough damage, he just fucks off. Like he's gone. He just fucks off. He didn't despawn, he just disappears. Found the ruler's mask and ruler's set actually. I did find Millicent.
Ah, we meet again. In truth, it's been smooth sailing for me. The scarlet rot has stilled since last we met. As such, I've been able to continue my journey. Though rather vexingly, I realized that if I still had my sword arm, I could have aided you in battle.
That would have been sick, actually.
Now I'm tracing the path Melania took, after unleashing the power of the Scarlet Rot during her battle with General Radahn in the Caelid Wilds. I should like to meet her. This vanished woman. I think she's in the north, in the lands that lie beyond the Erd Tree.
Wherever that is.
I'm tracing the
And then she more or less just repeats what she's saying. So I go to the Beast Sanctum because I'm like, oh, cool. I have like loads of death fruit that I haven't given over. And I get a couple of things, Ashes of War, like Beast Roar, Bestial Vitality, Bestial Slaying. And then I can't remember what it was. I think I decided I went to rest at the bonfire. I think because sometimes I forget I can teleport from the map. So I go to the bonfire and rest or whatever. I don't know. And then I'm like, okay, cool. Let me go outside. And he's freaking out. I'm like, oh, cool. Let's just take him out real quick. And I'm like, oh, he's destroying everything, but I'm not scared. I am not worried at all. Okay, he's just hurling things at me. Okay, cool, but I'm not worried at all. Oh, you're pretty quick for a big guy. Oh, that hurt. Oh, you're fast for no reason. So he has a lot of health. The trick behind this fight is to whittle his HP down enough that he stops fighting, but he doesn't do anything. And I was like, is it bugged? So I just like rested, and then now he's fine.
Again, mine appetite. I must have more. I must consume more.
He gives me Beast Claw, but I believe that is everything. That is the entire catch up, and that took a while. It took an hour, but we're caught up.